It's time to get serious about your health. It's time to get serious about your fitness tracking, and there are tons of options out there. So why are we going to pick the Fitbit Versa 4? Let's find out. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. Today, we're gonna do an unboxing and feature review of this, which is a Fitbit Versa 4. Now, if you've watched videos on this channel before, you've noticed that I've got a watch on my wrist most of the time, and this is a Fitbit Versa 2. So, why am I choosing to upgrade now? And why have I chosen a Fitbit Versa 4? We're gonna cover all that, but first we need to do an unboxing of the Fitbit Versa 4. So I just ordered this, it just arrived, and it is brand new factory sealed. I haven't opened it yet. So let's do the unboxing portion first, and then I'll cover the features, and we'll kind of compare it to my Fitbit Versa 2, and just kind of see how they stack up, because maybe you want a brand new watch because it has the latest and the greatest. Or maybe you want an old used watch like what I bought, or you could buy a new older watch. So there's lots of options available to you is what I'm trying to say. Fitbit is now a Google company, so Google has purchased the Fitbit brand. They are continuing to release Fitbit branded watches and continue on those series, even though they are releasing Google specific watches, which will also carry the Fitbit back end, and it'll connect through the Fitbit app. That's currently as of this filming. Now, in the future, I expect that Google will try to integrate and turn this into more of a Google experience. Before we get too far into this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. If you've seen some of our content already and have not subscribed, we want you to join our community. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get back to the video. Right now, it is still very much a Fitbit experience. If you like Fitbit, this is still a good way to get a Fitbit. The future is not totally clear, at least as far as what the software would look like as Google gets more involved in it. But one thing I noticed right off the bat is the very Google-esque pull tabs like that to open the box. So we just pull that and then this slides out. Nice. And then, ooh. So there's a very nice Fitbit logo kind of there. And then, one thing I really enjoy is just kind of the experience, the unboxing experience. This is actually laid out quite nicely. I like this. We're gonna start with kind of the accessories first. So we'll pull this guy out here. Oh, okay. So that's just this is a pull with a hinge, and then it has the other half of my strap, which will be excellent. We'll put that back and we'll pull this out and find out what the heck this is. This little button here is taunting me. So what is that button? So this is really nice. So let's see what's in here. We're gonna pull this out, peel that off. Ah, that is the charger. That's pretty cool. We'll see how the charger works in a minute, but I like that. It's better than the other charger. Let's get these out of the way. Also in here, there's some instructions. Oh, those are printed right on the box. So if I go like that, and you go like, oh, no, this one is definitely a manual. There we go. There's a couple manuals here. This is the quick start guide. Download the Fitbit app, charge to 100% and sync with the app. I already have the app installed because I have a Fitbit device. Holy smokes. So those of you who are at least as old as me or older, remember the old days when you used to have to open a map to navigate yourself around? That's what this feels like. And I feel like I will never, ever be able to fold this back the way that Google folded it, just like a real map. Maybe it's not that hard. I have no idea what's on here. It says it's product information. If you like to read that sort of thing, it's here for you to read. I am going to choose to not read that sort of thing. And then, how do we get this? Ooh, that's very cool. So I don't know if you can see here. This is just kind of a pocket that it just slips right into, just like that. So it just kind of pulls out like that, which is great. So that gives me an opportunity. I don't even know where this was. I'm gonna put that back in there. That must have been there. We'll close. I love this box. Sorry, the watch is exciting too, but just the way the box opens like this, I'm really glad that manufacturers are realizing that the unboxing is an experience. Like when you just open this up and the watch is displayed right there, it's really, really cool. Now that gets us onto the watch itself. It has this beautiful little protective sticker on it, just like that. And then the first thing I noticed, the band on this is very much iWatch kind of band. So it seems like Google is trying to follow in Apple's footsteps. Personally, I've never been a fan of this kind of strap. I prefer a regular watch strap, and I'll take my Versa 2 strap off so you can see. This is just a regular watch strap type strap. Now, I bought these on Amazon, so maybe I can get a similar strap to that on Amazon. Then you guys noticed that I have another band. This is strictly just a little bit longer band. I can show you there like that. And that's so that if you have a big hand, you can fit it on. So let's see if this fits. So for me, I can get it on the smallest setting and it pinches my hand quite nicely. So I'm obviously going to swap to the other band. So let's figure out how the band swaps. Now, on the Fitbit Versa 2, the way the band swaps is right here, there's this metal tab, and you're not going to get very good footage of this, but you just push the tab over and then the strap comes out, something like that. And then it goes back in like this, and then you slide that over. It's more like a traditional watch strap. Now, it's important that you see kind of how this is with this metal hook there, because when I'm wearing this, something that happens, and maybe it won't happen to all of you, but it definitely happens to me. I put my arm around my wife. She has long hair. Her hair kind of wraps around this watch and it always gets caught on this little metal pull tab here. And she has told me a number of times how much she hates my watch because of that. The Versa 4 has gotten rid of that. There's just this little tab right here that you'll push, but when you pull it, it releases the strap. Now, this is very sketchy to say the least, but that'll just push in like this. And then you heard that click, now that's in. So now the strap will fit me just fine. So now I can fit this strap on, and I'll save this one for later, probably inside that box because I'll never use it. But you didn't come here to watch me try on watches all day. So let's compare the backs. So here is the back. This is the Fitbit 2 on my left hand, and this is the Fitbit 4 on my right hand. You can see that the 4 has a few more sensors available there. It also has totally different charging pads. So I bought a few different chargers for this watch. Now they're all going to be useless to me because I will need to start using this, which this one just magnets on. It can only go one way, so it goes that way. If I try to do it the other way, it actually moves to try and not connect how I want it to. So it won't, like you can see, no matter how I move it around, it's not going to connect to the watch. If I turn it the other way though and go, it always kind of connects up where it's supposed to go. And it's got a little bit of a ridge there so that they actually connect positively. This is nice, and it's quite sturdy, as you can see, because it won't fall off of your charger and stop charging if you bumped it in the night or whatever. Now this wants to do a quick setup, so I'm going to do that real quick, and then I'll come back and talk about the features of the watch. So the first thing we've got to do is actually set up the watch to the app. Now I already have the app installed, so we're going to open the Fitbit app. Now this has already got all of my stats from my Versa 2. So I'm going to just sync it Now that it's synced up with my old Fitbit, I'm going to go into this menu here and I'm going to say set up a new device. Now it's going to pull up a menu that says, well, what kind of new device do you have? And you'll just see they'll all be listed here. So in this case, the Versa 4 is right at the top because they want you to buy a Versa 4, obviously, because it's the latest and greatest version of the Versa smartwatches. So I'm going to say, yes, that's what I have. I'm going to set that up. Now it's going to say, okay, you must accept and whatever. Now, if you have a Fitbit device already synced, it will say, oh, you already have a Fitbit device on this account. So we're going to remove that first, and then you can install this one. So I already actually removed this, and now it's installing the new Fitbit device. So it's not going to let you have 2 or more devices connected to one account. So you can only have one on one account. There might be workarounds, but right now we're not talking about workarounds. We're talking about this is what you would normally see. So I'm going to say accept. Now it says, let it charge. Okay. Now turn on your phone's Bluetooth. Versa 4 found. So now there's a number on my Versa 4 screen and there's a number on here. So I'm going to type that number in, 1769. And now it says it's connecting to the Fitbit. So if you see the Fitbit there, it says connecting, and the app also says that it is connecting. I'm going to say yes, we can pair. Yes will allow for notifications. And now it says that it is connected. And right off the bat, it says, oh, there's an update. Of course, there's always an update. So we're going to say, sure, update now. And here we go. We are setting up your Versa. So downloading, you can see, is at 0%. I'm going to let this run and then we'll come back to it in a minute. So here you can see it's downloading the update. It shows it on the screen while the phone shows the status as well. And it says, keep it near your phone so that the update doesn't get broken or anything. It is updating over Bluetooth. It might be a little bit slow. This does support Bluetooth 5.0, which is faster than the old Bluetooth protocol that the Versa 2 was running. Now, something that you should know, I had a Fitbit Versa 2 and I've had this for a few years now. And when the Versa 3 came out, I didn't feel like there was a big enough jump between the two to warrant the upgrade. Now that the Versa 4 is out, I obviously thought, okay, there's a significant enough difference that I should actually do the upgrade. But let's talk about some of the key features. And I will do kind of a side-by-side and tell you which features they both have and which ones are exclusive to the Versa 4, so that it'll help you decide if you want a Versa 4, or you can still get a Versa 2 or a Versa 3 at a very good price if you're willing to do without some of the features that the Versa 4 adds in this newest version. So going down the list, first of all is the battery life. Now I have been extremely impressed with the battery life of the Versa 2. It claims 5 days and I get pretty close to 5 days. I can't say the same about a lot of the other watches in this space. My wife has an Apple Watch and she has to charge it twice a day. So when she wakes up in the morning, she charges it while she's getting ready for work. Then she puts it on, she goes to work. When she comes home, she puts it on the charger so that she can wear it to bed. If she didn't do that, it would actually die sometime in the night. So you either don't wear it to bed and gain the sleep tracking capabilities, or you don't wear it while you're at work so that you can have the sleep tracking. It's really weird to me that watch manufacturers who claim all kinds of wonderful benefits of being able to track all of this information can't put a battery that lasts longer. So the Versa 4 has a 6-day battery life. So it gets 1 extra day of battery life out of the watch. The battery size in the Versa 2 is 165 milliamp hours. The battery in the Versa 4 is 162 milliamp hours. So the batteries are essentially the same size. So the extra battery life has to be through software tweaks and updates and how it actually handles life. Otherwise, they're lying and I'll only get 4 to 5 days of battery life out of the Versa 4 because it's the same battery as the Versa 2, really. As you already saw, it has a replaceable wristband, so you can get all kinds of accessories that will make it look fancier or whatever. I went for the blue one simply because the frame then is kind of like a silvery color, and you can get any color watch strap that you want, and it always goes with silver. Before, Mine was like a darker silver, which I really liked. I don't really like black, and I didn't want to get like some of those exotic colors because then you have to start color matching it to your outfits and all that, and I'm just not really into that kind of thing. If you are, then just know that you can get colors that are wild and crazy and they can match your outfit, and you can have different watches and whatever, match your strap to the watch, to your belt, whatever. You can do all of that. So talking about the display, there's a couple things to know about that. So both of them feature an always on display. Both of them always have an available display. Well, it has a display. Both displays are color, both displays are touch, and both displays are AMOLED type displays. So there's no difference really in the display. In fact, even the display size is more or less the same. It just seems like the new one is a little bit more rounded on the corners than the old one. But overall watch size is pretty much identical from what I can tell. On to the Fitbit functions, because that's where things are going to get a little bit different for you here. So the Versa 4 supports what they call EDA scan. So what is an EDA scan? I'm glad you asked. If I look on my friend Google, it says an EDA scan app tracks changes in your heart rate and the electrodermal responses, which are tiny electrical changes on your skin surface, so you can see how your body responds during mindfulness sessions or during stressful situations. So it's those two things combined. They're scanning kind of the changes in the electrical pulses on your skin, and then couple that with the heart rate sensor to decide, are you stressed, are you happy, are you sad? And then they can do stuff with that information. Most notably, they can track your stress. So they can tell you if you're stressed, they can identify, and they can warn you when you are in a stressful situation, so you can actively try to manage that better. So it is very useful in that regard. Now, the Fitbit Versa 2 does not have the EDA scan or the ability to. It will track your heart rate, so there are certain heart rate related tricks that they can do to simulate or to guess on what your emotional and mental health is, but the Fitbit Versa 4 obviously can do that a lot better because they have extra data to do that. Neither of them support the ECG function, which some of the other Fitbit bands do. Most of the ones that do ECG are not a watch type, they are more of a band style, and I didn't want a band style, even though the ECG would be nice to have. Not that I think I have a heart problem, but it is nice to have that data just because. Both of them support heart rate measurements, and they monitor your heart rate 24/7. They will both track your sleep cycles and give you tons of good information while you're sleeping. They will do sleep analyses, and they both record your steps. So a lot of the smartwatches have additional functions that you might want. So both of them will integrate with Amazon Alexa. I imagine they'll connect with Google Chrome as well because it is a Google product. So even if it doesn't support it now, it will in the future. And they also support notifications from your phone. So text messages, emails, stuff like that. You can answer calls from your watch. You can also do like Find My Phone. So if you can't find your phone, you push a button on your watch, then it'll make your phone ring. And it has come in handy a few times using this. Now, both of these watches do support all of those features. On to contactless payment. So the Versa 2 only supports the Fitbit Pay app, whereas the Versa 4 supports Google Pay or Google Wallet and Fitbit Pay. So they don't support Apple Pay, or at least out of the box, they don't claim to support Apple Pay. I unfortunately am stuck with an Apple phone, so I will see if Apple Pay works, but I use my phone to pay anyway. I've never really used my watch, so it hasn't been a big deal for me up to this point, really. Now, I did talk about this earlier, but this has Bluetooth 5.0, whereas the Versa 2 only has Bluetooth 4.0. I doubt you're going to notice a difference, though. Just know that 5.0 is better than 4.0. The operating temperatures have adjusted slightly, so the Versa 2 would support up to 60 degrees Celsius and up to minus 10 degrees Celsius, whereas the Versa 4 will only go up to 45 degrees Celsius and still supports up to minus 10 degrees Celsius. One thing I can tell you from experience is that neither of these watches are good in a hot tub. So my old Fitbit actually died early when I wore it in the hot tub. It heated the glue up on the surface here warm enough that the whole face actually came off and the entire watch got water damaged. So I do have to be very mindful about wearing my watch in the hot tub, but they are both waterproof up to 50 meters. Now that's a long way down, so you're totally covered. You don't have to worry about taking it off. You can do all kinds of swimming activities. You can do anything in the water that you would probably normally do, except super deep diving, which you're probably not trying to take your Fitbit diving that deep anyway. You could go snorkeling with it and still be just fine. And that's really it. Now, I know I said a lot of words there, so I will tell you the biggest difference between the two watches is that the Versa 4 gets 1 extra day of battery life through software enhancements. It also adds that EDA scan function, which monitors stress levels. If you are somebody who is worried about what your stress levels are, the Fitbit Versa 4 is the one you're looking for. If you don't care about your stress levels or you don't want to know about your stress levels, then a Fitbit Versa 2 or 3 would do everything that you would need without spending the cost of a brand new Versa 4. Now, I do see that the update is finished, so I'm going to hit continue. And we're gonna finish going through this setup. It has a built-in microphone to power voice features. Okay, that's fine, got it, thank you. I do not want to add Amazon Alexa. Set up on wrist calls. Sure. So we're gonna go to Bluetooth. We're gonna go to Versa 4. And what did I say? Versa 4 calls. So let's go to Versa 4 calls and pair. Excellent. Okay, so now I'm connected to Bluetooth twice on this thing. So now we can go back to this. Excellent. Swipe down for common watch setting modes. No, thank you. 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 Done. I don't want a membership, so I'm going to push X. Thank you very much. Now the nice thing is I can go into like the gallery and I can pick different clock faces. So there's tons of clock faces. There's free ones, there's paid ones, there's all kinds of apps and stuff that you can support. I have specific watch faces that I prefer, so I will play with that later to figure out which watch I want. So one thing I can tell you is that putting the watch on makes it feel pretty much the same as my Versa 2. It doesn't feel any different. It sits off my wrist pretty much the same height. They said it's a little thinner, and I would agree with that. It is. As you can see there, that wrist is sticking out a little bit, but it is a little bit thinner, not enough to matter. The rounded edges are okay. It feels more like a watch. So that's really everything that you need to see. You've seen it unboxed, you've heard the specs on there, you've heard my opinion. Quite frankly, I would say buy one of the older watches. Honestly, like at this point, there's no real benefit. The only reason I switched to the newer watch is this watch is also starting to break. So the side button on here is broken. So while I was doing this video, I actually accidentally said I wanted to pay for something. Now it's freaking out saying, set up your wallet. And because this button's broken, I can't set up the wallet. So every time I turn it on, it says, set up your wallet. The only way for me to get out of this screen is to wait for this battery to die. So in about 5 days from now, the battery will be dead. And then when I plug it in to charge it, it will boot back up into the main screen. So I've had no way to get back to the clock face. And it's been annoying. It still has been able to track my sleep, which is what was most important to me, and that's why I have the watch. So now my screen will actually work. I can push the button and pull the menu up as the watch should. So that's the main reason why I upgraded. Also, the Versa 4 does have those extra features, which I would like to also start tracking. Not because I think I have a problem right now, but because if I do start to develop a problem, I will have a good baseline to say, well, this is what it was before, and this is what it is now, which hopefully makes sense to a lot of you. Now, again, there are a lot of different options out there, so you want to research and find out which one is best for you. Personally, I have had the most success with the Fitbit brand for watches, especially with the longer battery life. Trust me when I say this. You want your watch to stay powered on as long as possible. If you are looking at a watch and it says that it'll get you 1 day of battery life, don't buy it. It is so annoying having to recharge the watch so much and be mindful of how much you're using it. The Versa really does last as long as they say, and it's very nice to not have to think about it. And when you do, you put it on the charger, a couple hours later, it's full and it's good for another week. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.